Didn't see you there. Skaters Former here, how are we? We're out here at an undisclosed location. Just did some work on the old diggy dig this morning, covering up some of this berm you see here. Going to be quite quick, I think, which I'm very, very excited about.
So it's week 2 of the build here at our new Mountainboard park, and a lot's happened since last week. We're packing in some soil here for the roll-in. This is going to be where you start the watercross. We've dug out most of the track now. We're piling up some piles. This is how you write it. Piling up some piles to the watercross features, and then we're going to top everything with clay, and that's because this soil here, we're quite close to the ocean, so the soil is very soft. It's made up by a lot of sand, so we have to cap everything with clay so it's rideable.
But it's probably a little thick for what we want for the track, so we're looking at like a seashore paspalum or something else, more of a golf course grass for those intermediate sections, so we can really tie it back into the landscape, which will be probably the first ever, I'd say, wouldn't you say? You ever ridden any other tracks with grass in it?
No. The reason why we're doing grass is so we can control the speed. Oh,
sorry. Hello, Top Dog Former speaking. Top Dog, what's up?
But
so
yeah,
basically,
grass on the track is better for compaction, wearing, control the speed,
and erosion and drainage.
Drainage and safety. We're going to show you the features.
Basically, this section is going to have a sequence of rollers in it. Or as Yuya likes to call them, bumpy bumpies. I love you, Yuya. There's going to be, they're marked out here, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 small roller sections at the start, and then we're going to have 2 medium roller sections where Dylan's sitting right there before we hit our first main feature.
Definitely standing.
Yeah, so pretty exciting. So you come down the roll in, you gather your speed, you accelerate through the rollers to maintain and increase your speed through this section here as you come into the first table. Now, we're currently sitting at 6 meters wide for our track. So end to end, she's 6 meters wide, so that's a good amount of track for, you know, 4 riders. Probably chuck 5 in, but I think we'll stick with 4 because I think that's what happens with the championship. Dylan, we want to take the people through the next section?
Yeah, rollers. There's going to be a table with some rollers at the top so you can gap the whole thing, or you can pump it.
Louder!
That was not a Black Eyed Peas reference. Settle down. This is going to be capped with clay. So pretty much all the jumps and features are going to have clay on them, and in between is going to be the grass. That's what we're going to talk about. Coming down here and have a look.
So after the first feature on the next section, we'll once again have a section of rollers. I said section too many times, didn't I?
You said sequence before.
Yeah,
we're going to have some rollers.
What I was looking for,
we're just going to have we're going to have 6 rollers here, so you can pump the speed. Next feature, this next feature is going to be a big one. It's going to be a step up jump. You can land in the middle, and then you're going to take a drop that lands with the berm. So we filled this all in last week with some soil that we cut off site.
Formo has spent a ridiculous amount of time hand shaping this. I've actually used a lawn lever for the majority of it because it's quite sandy, the soil. It's quite easy to manipulate. So basically lawn rake, lawn leveler, normal rake, flat shovel is basically all I've needed to try and trim these up. They're not quite compacted yet, but they're shaped so they can weather, and then once we compact next week, they'll start to form some shapes. But the finished shape will happen with the capping clay. So they're just subgrade prep at the minute. So you step up through here, and then we're coming into our first turn. So that's all pretty straight through here. Coming into our first turn, Dylan's got something a little special for this bit. So how do you want it to do, what do you want to do here, Dylan?
You're gonna do a step up, land here where I am, and there's gonna be a drop, so you can drop into the berm. It's gonna be a drop into the berm, another drop to bring you into this next level. So that'll be exciting. Double drop, berm, drop.
So all the soil you see over here is actually going to be transferred up into this section.
Yeah.
And where that peg is behind Dylan, if you want to point to that peg, Dylan, for people, right, that's where you're going to have a 600 to 800 mil drop down into the next section. So we'll try and camouflage as best we can so you don't even know it's there and you're like, whoa, bang, like that. So over here, this is where it starts to get a little bit technical. Where you see this cut over here, we want to incorporate a big quarter pipe. So basically what we want to do is wrap a freestyle run within the border cross run. So that's going to be the first element of the freestyle section that runs through the border cross section. So that's a big prize item, that one. So we try and get that tricked up looking good. And that's what gets us through this section.
All right, this is going to be a little quarter pipe section. We need some extra dirt so we can come into this bank to put on the berm, but we're going to fill it back in a little bit with some of the beautiful red clay and shape a quarter pipe into it. So you can fly down around the corner, hit the quarter pipe air, and then end up back in the valley, or might even do a bit of a hip, so you can like hip it up into this wedge here, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, so back into the border cross. So basically this section here is the only section where it tapers down in size. In this section we're dropping down to 4 meters. So basically got to get, yeah, you got to double basically, and then by this stage you want to try and have your sort of position pretty firmly set, because as you come into here it's going to start to narrow in a bit. Basically wraps around the side of the hill, so I call it the mountain goat section. So she comes around this side.
You just come up with that name then?
Yeah, no, I've been working on it. And then you come around this side, she banks around, and then you hit the next feature on the border cross, which is the third main feature of the border cross. There'll probably be some rollers incorporated just after just before the next feature, just in case the speed's a bit, or in case you lose a little bit of speed, because we do gradually go slightly uphill here.
You should have a look at these walls, and you can see sort of the level in soil. So like to about here is dirt, and then everything underneath is sand. It's pretty cool. So that's why we're bringing all the clay in. You really see it like here, it's like a lighter color. So you can really see the sand in the middle here. It's much lighter than the darker black soil up here. Pretty cool. So I haven't found any fossils yet though.
Yeah, and the pros and cons of that being, obviously sandy soil, you know, you get ruts and whatnot, but the drainage is actually really good. So, you know, middle of winter, you know, hopefully we can still ride these tracks without, you know, without ruts or without bogging down and all that sort of stuff. So all your crossfall, all your surface drainage or your surface runoff actually gets absorbed by the ground, so you don't get those big runs of ruts running through the track, which is really cool, I think.
What are you running from?
Just from life in general. You know, we all make mistakes, right? Yeah, so this section here I hand prepped from that point there, because obviously all that soil is going back up the hill. You can sort of see the mark in the ground, in the soil. I've hand prepped all this section because there's no more machinery going on this apart from compaction stuff. So this has all been hand prepped. I've worked it. It's still got slight fall, even though it looks like it runs uphill slightly, but we're going to incorporate some rollers just so you can really huck through this section. Yeah, it's kind of, we wanted to use the hill for a berm, but we thought it'd be more beneficial if we actually cut into it and went around it.
So you can keep speed around the corner?
Yeah, because otherwise speed would have been an issue, and we want to try and keep it along the ridgeline of the mountain to get the length out of the course. So this section here, we haven't actually cut yet. It's basically just a cut and fill anyways. There's not a heap happening here, but we've left it out just for access temporarily so we can get the clay into the sections that we need.
Yeah,
Brendo
put you into a jump here. Yeah, that we just marked out last week, and it's going to be a nice little quick tabletop to put you into this new double berm that we've pretty much spent all of this week on. So we, as we said before, we had to get all the clay dropped in. Brendo had the berm dug out last week, but now Formo, so many O's in Australia. What do you mean O? Formo has been compacting it in with a bobcat, so he's been pushing in the clay, rolling up and down it to get that compaction layer of clay, so it'll be nice and hard and fast. Looks pretty sick from here, huh? Yeah, doesn't it know? Does it look good for you on that camera?
What should we call it, do you think?
Double berm of doom.
Snake of death. What do you think of snake of death?
Secret serpent, snake, suffocation.
Oh, too many s in it.
No, we'll keep thinking.
What about the people with lisps?
Hey,
They're gonna have a
why don't they
horrible
just
time.
write a comment on this video, Daniel?
Yeah, chuck a comment on if you game.
Unfortunately, Daniel had to leave. But so yeah, these are the two berms. So I'm thinking like when this dries out, it's going to be pretty fast. This clay like sets like rock, so it's going to be super fun to fly around both these corners, and then it takes you into the next little valley, which we'll have a look at. But yeah, Formo and Az have both been on the bobcat, running all the clay in to get it nice and compacted. Oh,
Get it right.
Once you go, you can't stop. Walk around this bit, I reckon, Aaron. Alright, so when you fly around the double berm, you're coming into this cool valley here. We're not quite sure what we're going to do with this bit yet. Probably just a big tabletop, but maybe a step up, maybe a wall ride, I don't know. Leave a comment and let us know what you think we should put in here. It's going to be coming out of a lot of speed into another bit of speed. But into the next berm, which I'm really excited about, this last berm. It's pretty much going to be completely just dug into this beautiful little natural, I don't know, what would you call that, Aaron? Small hill? Mogul? Slope? I don't know. But yeah, Brendo's started to dig. Next week he'll be back to finish it off. And yeah, this pretty much brings you towards the end of the track. So you're around that berm, needs to get cut out still, clay. This will be a straight, and this will be all rollers. And then we're going to do a big hip here, which will be really fun just to ride. There'll be a big hip, and then it'll be the finish line down to the left of the shipping container down there. I don't know if you can see that. So all up this track will be, this border cross track will be about 500 meters from top to bottom, which is pretty substantial, pretty long track. So I'm pretty excited to ride it. And up the top there, Az has got pretty far and leveling out the freestyle section. So we're hoping next week to get some more soil so we can start building up some piles to start building some of the dirt jumps for the slopestyle area. And it's all happening, Aaron. The sun's out. It was raining this morning. It's looking good up here on the hill. It's going to be an awesome little free ride section in here. We're going to have a few little bumps and turns. But yeah, that sums up this week, really. This week's just been about putting clay in. Oh no, he's back.
It's like a mountain bike track or something, is it? You ride mountain bikes and like dirt bikes and this and that, do you, eh? What's a mountain board?